States, the boys and me on the golf trip just sit there watching her in a boob tube that Polanski might have helped her with, but that's another story. She's got so low, I mean, they've lost the Netflix deal. She's going to appear at in person at a girl.
To tell us that they're showing up in Jordan tomorrow. They do not like to give us a big heads up. I absolutely believe that this was to kill the Netflix story because they didn't want people debating that this is just another.
The conversation quickly turned toward renewed scrutiny surrounding Meghan Markle and her latest professional developments, with commentators describing what they see as another challenging chapter for the Duchess of Sussex. During the discussion, panelists reflected on the growing list of commercial ventures associated with Meghan and Prince Harry that have faced setbacks in recent years. One participant began by noting that conversations about the couple frequently overlap with wider controversies and royal family issues. However, attention soon shifted directly to Meghan Markle's career trajectory and the perception among critics that her acting career and subsequent media projects have struggled to deliver sustained success. Commentators referenced Meghan's early television appearances, including her time as a brief participant on the American game show Deal or No Deal. Critics pointed out that the role, often associated with models holding numbered briefcases, has frequently been cited by detractors as an example of the limited acting opportunities she had prior to entering the royal spotlight. The discussion then turned to what commentators described as a series of professional setbacks for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex following their departure from royal duties. Particular focus was placed on reports suggesting that the couple's partnership
been in control
with the streaming company
time,
Netflix
and she's
may no longer be continuing in the way it once was expected to, according to the panel. This development adds to earlier challenges involving other media partnerships. Critics have previously pointed to the end of the couple's deal with Spotify as another example of difficulties maintaining long-term commercial collaborations. Against that backdrop, attention turned to Meghan Markle's upcoming public appearance at a women's retreat in Australia. The event, scheduled to take place over several days in April, is being marketed as a luxury gathering designed to offer inspiration and personal development opportunities for attendees. Reports cited during the discussion indicate that ticket prices for the retreat range widely, depending on the level of access offered. Attendees paying higher fees may receive invitations to a gala dinner and a speaking session featuring Meghan Markle.
Did he do it?
However, commentators clarified that the format appears to involve Markle addressing a larger audience rather than participating in individual meet-and-greet interactions. Promotional descriptions of the event emphasize themes of self-reflection, empowerment, and personal growth. During earlier interviews, Meghan has spoken about the concept of anchoring within herself, which organizers appear to be using as part of the messaging surrounding the retreat. Despite
appearing
these themes,
together in front of a
critics on the
crowd.
panel questioned whether the event signals financial pressure behind the scenes. Some suggested that the decision to participate in such appearances could reflect the couple's need to explore new income opportunities following the uncertainty
that had always looked
surrounding
perfectly
their larger
controlled.
media deals.
Prince Harry was still
Another claim raised during the conversation involved the role of personal connections
was that
in
okay?
arranging the retreat.
No,
According to one commentator, a friend of Meghan associated with the Soho House social network may have helped facilitate contact between Markle and the event organizers. If accurate, this would suggest
that
the
had always
opportunity
looked
emerged
perfectly
through personal
controlled.
relationships
Prince Harry
rather than through direct invitations from organizers seeking her involvement. Regardless of how the arrangement came about, the discussion highlighted how strongly opinions remain divided regarding Meghan Markle's public ventures. While supporters view such appearances as a natural extension of her advocacy work, critics interpret them as evidence of a celebrity brand struggling to maintain momentum. Yet the debate surrounding Meghan's retreat appearance was only the beginning. As the discussion continued, attention shifted toward other figures connected to the royal family, and another controversy that has once again placed royal reputations under the spotlight. As the discussion continued, commentators returned to the question of whether the recent developments surrounding Meghan Markle and Prince Harry might indicate growing financial pressure. Several panelists suggested that the decision for Meghan to appear at a paid retreat could be interpreted by critics as evidence that the couple is exploring new income opportunities after a series of commercial challenges. The retreat in Australia, promoted as a luxury women's weekend titled Her Best Life Retreat, is scheduled to take place over several days in April. Promotional material describes the event as a gathering focused on personal growth, inspiration, and networking among women. However, the panel noted that the event also offers premium ticket packages priced between several hundred and several $1,000s. According to reports referenced in the conversation, those who purchase the higher-tier tickets may gain access to a gala-style dinner, as well as a speaking session featuring Meghan Markle. The Duchess is expected to address attendees during a presentation focused on themes such as personal empowerment and self-reflection. Commentators pointed out that the program appears to involve Markle speaking to a larger audience, rather than engaging in individual meetings with participants. Some critics questioned whether the timing of the announcement was significant. One panelist speculated that the publicity surrounding the retreat might have been intended to redirect media attention away from ongoing speculation about the Sussexes' relationship with Netflix. Reports suggesting uncertainty around the couple's future projects with the streaming company have circulated widely in recent weeks, prompting renewed scrutiny of their professional partnerships. The discussion also revisited the earlier conclusion of the Sussexes' agreement with Spotify, which had once been presented as a major step in their transition into media production. For critics, the end of that arrangement, combined with questions surrounding other ventures, has contributed to a narrative that the couple's post-royal career has not developed as smoothly as originally anticipated. Another detail mentioned during the discussion involved the possible role of Meghan Markle's longtime acquaintance Marcus Anderson. According to one commentator, Anderson may have contacted the retreat organizers to suggest Markle as a featured guest. If accurate, this would indicate that the appearance may have been arranged through personal connections rather than through direct outreach by the event's promoters. The panelists argued that such arrangements can be common in the world of celebrity speaking engagements, where professional networks frequently help facilitate invitations. However, critics used the claim to support their broader argument that Markle's public appearances may now depend more heavily on personal relationships and smaller events rather than large corporate media partnerships. At the same time, some commentators offered a more ironic perspective on the situation. They suggested that if Markle were to present a detailed explanation of how she and Prince Harry secured lucrative deals with major media companies after stepping back from royal duties, such a presentation could attract considerable interest. Others joked that audiences might even be willing to pay significant amounts to hear about the couple's experiences navigating celebrity culture and high-profile business negotiations. Despite these differing views, the central question remained the same: whether the retreat represents a meaningful new direction for Meghan Markle's brand or simply another attempt to maintain public visibility during a period of uncertainty. Yet while the conversation initially focused on the Sussexes' finances and career moves, the discussion soon broadened to include another royal figure whose past controversies continue to generate headlines. And as the panel shifted its attention to that issue, the debate moved from the challenges facing the Sussexes to the ongoing fallout surrounding another member of the royal family. As the discussion progressed, attention shifted from the commercial challenges facing Meghan Markle and Prince Harry to another figure whose controversies have continued to dominate royal headlines: Prince Andrew. The panel began examining a recent report that once again placed the Duke of York at the center of media scrutiny, particularly in connection with the ongoing fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. One article referenced during the discussion described claims that Prince Andrew had once portrayed himself as a second-hand aircraft salesman while interacting with individuals connected to the fashion industry. According to the report, the Duke allegedly suggested he had helped facilitate the purchase of a private jet for a family member. While the details of the story were widely described as unusual, commentators argued that the situation reflected a broader pattern in which members of the royal family, or those connected to them, attempt to maintain a certain lifestyle or status. The panel quickly drew comparisons between Prince Andrew's situation and the broader challenges facing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Some commentators suggested that in both cases, there appears to be a struggle to maintain the level of visibility, influence, and lifestyle that often accompanies royal status. They argued that public figures connected to the monarchy sometimes attempt to wear multiple professional hats in order to remain financially secure and socially relevant. According to this interpretation, the issue is not limited to a single individual, but reflects a wider dynamic involving members of the royal family, who are no longer fully integrated into the official structure of the monarchy. Without clearly defined roles, critics claim that such figures may find themselves searching for new opportunities to maintain their public profile. One panelist described the situation as an example of the contrast between what is often referred to as the heir and the spare within royal families. The concept traditionally refers to the difference between the direct successor to the throne and the other siblings, whose positions may be less clearly defined. In this context, attention turned to Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, who were mentioned as examples of a royal couple focused on stability and long-term preparation for the future of the monarchy. Commentators suggested that their approach to family life may differ from previous royal generations, particularly in how they are raising their children. The discussion highlighted the fact that William and Catherine have 3 children: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Observers noted that Prince George's role as the future king is already understood, while Charlotte and Louis are being raised without the intense pressure historically associated with the spare position. Some commentators argued that this shift could help prevent the kind of identity struggles that critics believe have affected previous generations of royals. They suggested that offering royal children greater freedom to develop their own paths might reduce the risk of future conflicts or public controversies. The debate also touched briefly on public sympathy toward Prince Harry. While some observers argue that being the spare can create challenges, others believe that individuals raised with royal privilege still have significant opportunities to build meaningful careers and public roles. As the panel examined these contrasting perspectives, it became clear that the conversation was no longer simply about individual controversies. Instead, it had evolved into a broader discussion about how different members of the royal family navigate their positions and responsibilities. Yet the debate was far from over. As the conversation continued, the panel turned toward another sensitive topic, one involving tensions inside the royal household itself and growing speculation about how senior members of the monarchy are responding behind closed doors. As the conversation continued, the focus shifted toward tensions reportedly developing within the British royal household. Commentators began discussing recent public appearances and statements that they believe reflect a growing divide among members of the monarchy. In particular, attention turned to reactions from senior royals to the ongoing controversies surrounding Prince Andrew. Panelists referenced coverage of a recent royal event, the annual Commonwealth Day service, held at Westminster Abbey. Footage from the occasion had circulated widely online, prompting commentary from observers who closely analyzed the behavior and interactions of members of the royal family during public engagements. According to reports cited in the discussion, a professional lip reader reviewing the footage suggested that Prince William appeared to make a remark to Princess and expressing frustration about repeatedly hearing Prince Andrew's name mentioned in connection with ongoing controversies. While such interpretations are always subject to debate, the claim fueled speculation that William may be increasingly impatient with the continued attention surrounding the Duke of York. Commentators suggested that the alleged remark, if accurate, could reflect broader sentiment within parts of the royal family. Prince Andrew has remained largely absent from official duties since the fallout from his connection to Jeffrey Epstein became public. Observers noted that he now lives a far quieter life away from the center of royal activity, reportedly spending much of his time at his residence in Norfolk. Some analysts believe that William may have played a significant role in shaping the monarchy's response to Andrew's situation. According to this interpretation, the Prince of Wales has supported efforts to distance the institution from controversies that could damage its public reputation. Critics argue that maintaining public trust is essential for the monarchy's long-term survival. During the same discussion, the panel briefly returned to the subject of Prince Harry and his upcoming appearance at an international conference in Australia. Reports indicate that Harry is scheduled to participate as a keynote speaker at the Inter-Ed Safety Summit, where he is expected to discuss the topic of mental health in the workplace. The announcement sparked debate among commentators, particularly in light of reports about staff turnover within the Sussex's professional team in recent years. Some critics questioned whether Harry's experiences managing staff and public initiatives make him a suitable voice on workplace leadership and employee well-being. Others pointed out that several former employees connected to the Sussex household have reportedly formed informal networks to share their experiences. Although details of those accounts vary, the reports have contributed to an ongoing narrative that managing operations around the Sussex brand may have presented challenges for some staff members. Commentators argued that the issue highlights the complexity of public figures speaking on topics such as workplace culture, while simultaneously facing scrutiny over their own management practices. Supporters, however, note that Prince Harry has long been involved in mental health advocacy through initiatives connected to veterans and charitable organizations. Beyond individual controversies, the panel began reflecting on the broader future of the monarchy. Some commentators suggested that the institution may be approaching a period of transition, particularly given the pressures created by multiple high-profile scandals. In that context, attention again turned toward the role of King Charles III and speculation about how the monarchy might evolve in the coming years. For many royal watchers, the central question has become whether the next generation, led by Prince William and his family, could represent a new chapter for the institution. And as the discussion moved toward its conclusion, analysts began considering whether such a transition might eventually reshape the monarchy's public image and help it move beyond the controversies that have dominated recent headlines. As the discussion moved toward its conclusion, the panelists reflected on the broader implications of the controversies surrounding several members of the royal family. Commentators emphasized that the ongoing public scrutiny, whether related to Prince Andrew, Prince Harry, or Meghan Markle, has created an atmosphere of uncertainty about the future direction of the monarchy. Observers noted that recent headlines have placed increasing pressure on the institution, with multiple stories emerging simultaneously. From renewed attention on Prince Andrew's past associations to the ongoing debates about the Sussex's business ventures and public appearances, the royal family has found itself navigating a period of intense public debate. Some commentators argued that the British monarchy may now be approaching a critical turning point. According to this perspective, the institution could require a fresh chapter in order to restore public confidence and move beyond the controversies that have dominated recent news cycles. In that context, attention repeatedly returned to the leadership of King Charles III and the potential role of the next generation of royals. Analysts pointed out that Charles inherited the throne at a particularly challenging time, with several long-running issues already affecting the monarchy's reputation. During the discussion, some panelists suggested that the monarchy's long-term stability may depend on how effectively it navigates these challenges. They argued that the institution must continue adapting to modern expectations while maintaining the traditions that have historically defined it. This debate naturally led to renewed focus on Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, who many commentators believe represent a stabilizing force within the royal family. The couple is often viewed as central to the monarchy's future, with their public image frequently described as one of responsibility, continuity, and dedication to duty. Supporters argue that William and Catherine have worked carefully to present a different model of royal life, one that emphasizes family stability and a measured approach to public engagement. Their parenting of their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, has also attracted attention from commentators who believe the next generation of royals may be raised with a clearer understanding of their future roles. At the same time, the panel acknowledged that the monarchy's future cannot be separated from the controversies that continue to surround other royal figures. The ongoing debate about Prince Andrew's past and the public scrutiny directed at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle demonstrate how individual actions can influence perceptions of the institution as a whole. For many royal watchers, the central question now is how the monarchy will balance continuity with change. Some analysts believe that a generational shift in leadership could eventually provide an opportunity to move past the challenges of recent years and redefine the monarchy's relationship with the public. Despite the disagreements expressed during the discussion, one point remained clear. The royal family continues to occupy a unique position in global public life. Every development, whether a public appearance, a media deal, or a political controversy, can quickly become a major international story. As a result, the coming years may prove crucial in determining how the British monarchy adapts to an evolving media landscape and changing public expectations. Whether through new leadership, shifting roles within the family, or a renewed focus on traditional duties, The institution now faces the task of navigating a path forward while under the constant gaze of the world.